Hey everybody, John V here from PhoneArena. You're watching our in-depth video review of the Samsung Exhibit 2 4G. It's available right now through T-Mobile for a 2-year contract price of only $29.99, so it's very affordable. Now what makes it unique is that it works with T-Mobile's recently introduced $29.99 per month prepaid unlimited plan, which includes 100 minutes, unlimited text and data. And if you go with the prepaid option, you're only paying $199.99 for this guy. Now, the Samsung Exhibit 2 4G isn't anything spectacular in the design front, just because it looks mostly like its predecessor. This time around, it omits the optical trackpad. Instead of a soft touch feel in the back, it has this patterned plasticky design to it. It doesn't offer too much of a grip, unfortunately, but does keep the handset relatively lightweight, fairly compact, but it's not the most solidly built thing that we've seen, and overall its design's a little bit on the bland side. Still flaunting a resolution of WVGA, which is 480 by 800 pixels. This time around, it sizes up with a larger display at 3.7 inches, as opposed to the 3.5-inch panel in use with its predecessor. Of course, when you combine those elements, the resolution and also the screen size produces some crisp-looking text, more than legible. We also like the distinctive color tones produced by this LCD panel, but unfortunately, its low brightness output and its weak viewing angles makes it difficult to view in outdoor conditions. Below display, it features the usual set of anti-capacitor buttons. Every now and then we accidentally press them. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, you have the narrow-looking earpiece, and you also have a front-facing camera for video chat and self-portraits. On the left side, there's only a volume rocker, which is very distinctive and has a solid tactile response. Conversely, on the right edge of the phone, you have the power button here. It's rather flat, flush to the surface, but luckily it still has a springy response. Also on the top edge of the phone, we find nothing but the 3.5mm headset jack, and behind the plastic cover here is the micro USB port for data and charging connectivity. And lastly, on the back side, it features the same size 3-megapixel autofocus camera, single LED flash. Removing the back coverage, you gotta simply yank off the plastic piece here. It comes apart, you have access to the battery, you have a SIM card slot, and a micro SD card slot. Rather than using the Hummingbird processor, its predecessor, the handset instead utilizes a single-core 1GHz Qualcomm MSM8255 processor instead, which is coupled with 512 megabytes of RAM. And its performance not quite as great, just because we do notice some evidence of lag and slowdown, and sometimes it just feels very unresponsive, and it's especially more prevalent with a live wallpaper activated. Nevertheless, it's able to execute most basic tasks without that much problems. Featuring the most up-to-date TouchWiz experience, just like what's found in the Samsung Galaxy S2, there isn't anything particularly new found with the Exhibit 2 4G. It runs the same. If you do a pinch gesture on the home screen, you get Leap View, so you can view all your home screens at once. A lot of widgets, of course, so there's plenty of personalization. With the app panel, it's laid in a traditional grid-like view, and there's some editing functions you could do, so you can better rearrange them. Mainly because of its screen size, the messaging experience can be a little bit of a challenge, especially with people with larger fingers, just because the layout's a little bit cramped. But luckily, though, the responsiveness helps out in quickly composing text messages, and of course, in landscape's a better option for you. You have two options available for you. You have the Samsung keypad and even the swipe one. Easily the most surprising thing about the Samsung Exhibit 2 4G is the web browsing experience. It offers 4G HSPA+ connectivity, so complex web pages load up in a timely manner. And on top of that, the navigational controls are very tight and responsive. You could tell here, even with Flash content loaded here, it's not even stuttering that much. And for the most part, it is very enjoyable. With the TouchWiz music player on board with the handset, there isn't really anything new with its presentation or layout. When you play a song, it displays your usual things like the album cover, track information, and even on-screen controls. With the audio quality, it's neutral with its output, average volumes, and doesn't crackle at all. There are also additional equalizer settings to better fine-tune the audio. It might not be the most ideal thing to watch videos on, but with Samsung Exhibit 2 4G, it offers a reasonable experience. The video we have here is encoded in MPEG-4, 1280 by 720 resolution, so 720p. You can tell it's moving at a fluid rate. There's no slowdown or choppiness with this movement. Good details, and for the most part, more than sufficient. If you happen to be big on taking photos, you'll probably want to look elsewhere, just because with the 3.2 megapixel autofocus camera on the Samsung Exhibit 2 4G, photos are rather lackluster in quality. In outdoor conditions, details are almost non-existent, very muddy looking to tell you the truth, and color production can look a little bit washed out at times. Indoors, under low lighting, colors are very distorted and there's a lot of digital noise, and the LED flash is only potent up to 5 feet away. For the kind of hardware it's packing, it's a little bit shocking to find that there's no 720p video recording on board with the handset, but instead we're only greeted with VGA videos, which captures at a rate of 30 frames per second, which is smooth but kind of lacking on details. Very muddy with its overall appearance. Colors on the neutral side, and audio quality is clear, but again, just the resolution kind of disappointing. Surprisingly, we're actually very impressed with the calling quality with the Samsung Exhibit 2 4G, just because on both ends of the line, voices are clear and distinctive, more than audible. With the earpiece, it's not the strongest volume output, but the voices are more than audible. When you switch to using the speakerphone, again, we're treated to some really nice clear voices, no distortion, and overall, a great experience. Furthermore, the handset also excels when it comes to retaining a solid connection to the network. You can tell it produces a good amount of bars in high coverage areas, and in our time testing it didn't drop any phone calls. Even with heavy usage, which primarily consists of texting, web surfing, emailing, and also phone calls, we're able to get close to 1 day of battery life with the handset, which is more than ideal for our needs. As we've clearly seen, the Samsung Exhibit 2 4G isn't the shiniest thing on T-Mobile's lineup, and its overall performance might not be top-notch, but the biggest thing going for this guy is its pricing. It's only $200, no contract, and you could use it with T-Mobile's brand new $30 per month unlimited plan, which gives you 100 minutes and also unlimited data and text on top of that. You could pick it up with a contract still for only $29.99, $30, so it's not going to empty your pockets. So if you could overlook some of its inconsistencies, you'll definitely find it more than appreciable, especially for the cost. So if you'd like to learn more about this handset, you can check out our website, PhoneArena.com. This is John V signing off. Thanks, guys.